All right, so you want to know what makes those highly successful people tick? Well, we do too. And we've got this awesome piece called 10 Habits of Highly Successful People that we're diving into today.
Yeah, this one's packed with insights, some stuff you might expect, but also some real surprises.
Definitely. And the best part is, it's not just theory. We're talking about real-life habits of people like Elon Musk and Oprah. Like, think about it. What do they do that sets them apart?
Okay, so habit number 1, and this one's a biggie, waking up early.
Oh, tell me about it. Not exactly my forte, but the source says a lot of these high achievers, they're up before the sun like 5 or 6 a.m.
It's wild, right? But there's a method to the madness. Apparently, studies show early risers tend to be more proactive, better problem solvers.
Maybe that quiet time before the world wakes up. That's got to be valuable.
Right. It's like having a head start on the day.
Okay. But for those of us who are not morning people, any tips on making that shift?
Baby steps. The source suggests easing into it. Maybe set your alarm 30 minutes earlier each week. No need to shock the system.
I can try that. So that extra time in the morning could be perfect for habit number 2, reading. Now this one's interesting. Bill Gates apparently reads like 50 books a year. And get this, Warren Buffett spends most of his day reading.
80%, to be exact.
Yeah.
It's incredible how much they prioritize continuous learning. You know, reading keeps your mind sharp, fuels creativity.
Yeah, but does it have to be traditional books? What about those of us who prefer podcasts or articles?
Totally. The piece is all about finding what works for you. Audiobooks, summaries, even just focusing on key takeaways.
Okay, so it's about being strategic with your reading time, even if you only have a few minutes each day. So we've got waking up early reading. What's next?
Habit number 3. It might sound obvious, but it's crucial. Setting clear goals.
Right. You got to know where you're going.
The source puts it this way. You can't hit at targets you can't see. And they recommend something called the SMART method for setting goals.
Okay, break that down for me. What does SMART stand for?
So it's an acronym, SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Oh, I see. So instead of saying I want to get fit, you'd say something like, I'll work out for 30 minutes, 5 days a week for the next 3 months.
Exactly. That's a SMART goal. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and with a clear time frame.
Makes sense. It takes the vagueness out of it and gives you a real plan.
And the source says, write those goals down. Look at them every single day. Keep them front and center.
Out of sight, out of mind, right? Okay, so we've covered waking up early reading, setting SMART goals. What's habit number 4?
This one's all about self-discipline. And it's not just about willpower. It's about building those consistent habits.
Because willpower alone, that can be exhausting.
Totally. It's not sustainable. Think about athletes. They train even when they don't feel like it.
It's part of their routine.
Right. And the source has a couple of cool tips for building that kind of discipline. One is called the 5-second rule.
Okay, what's that?
When you find yourself hesitating about doing something, count down from 5 and just take action. Don't overthink it.
Oh, I like that. Trick your brain into getting started. What's the other tip?
It's about minimizing distractions. Create a dedicated workspace.
Yeah.
Silence your phone. Set yourself up for success.
So it's not just about being strong-willed. It's about being smart and creating an environment that supports your goals.
Exactly. Make it easier on yourself.
Oh.
All right, what's next on our list?
Okay, habit number 5 is staying physically active. Now, this one might seem unrelated to success, but the source makes a strong connection between physical health and mental sharpness.
It's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good and having the energy to achieve your goals.
Right. Think about those high-powered CEOs who make time for exercise. Jeff Bezos lifting weights, Barack Obama hitting the gym.
They know that taking care of their physical health is essential for their mental performance.
Makes sense. So what are some actionable steps people can take to incorporate more physical activity into their routine?
Start small. The source recommends even just 15 minutes a day of walking, stretching, or yoga. Anything to get moving.
And gradually increase intensity over time.
Exactly. Find activities you enjoy. It shouldn't feel like a chore.
Okay, so we've talked about waking up early reading, setting SMART goals, self-discipline, and physical activity. What's habit number 6?
This one's all about connections, networking, and building relationships.
The old, it's not what you know, it's who you know adage.
There's definitely some truth to that. Successful people understand the power of building relationships. They attend industry events, engage on LinkedIn, even just schedule those coffee chats.
So it's about expanding your network and learning from others. Any specific recommendations from the source on how to do this effectively?
They have a challenge for you. Reach out to one new person every week. Just one person. It could be someone in your field, someone you admire, someone you've been meaning to connect with.
That's a great challenge. I'm going to try that. So networking is all about building those connections that can support your growth. Okay, what's next? On to habit number 7. And this one might surprise you. Embracing failure as a learning tool.
Yeah, it's about shifting your perspective. The source starts with a great story about Thomas Edison and his thousands of failed attempts before inventing the light bulb.
Wow. Talk about persistence.
Exactly. He didn't see those failures as setbacks. He saw them as feedback, as opportunities to learn and improve.
So it's not about avoiding failure altogether, it's about using it as a stepping stone.
Right, and asking yourself, what can I learn from this after every setback?
That's a powerful mindset shift. So failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process.
Absolutely. And speaking of mindset shifts, that leads us to habit number 8, cultivating a positive mindset and practicing gratitude.
So we're moving from external actions to internal ones here. Why is a positive mindset so important for success?
The source cites research that shows gratitude actually boosts happiness, reduces stress, and can even improve decision-making.
Wow, so there's science behind it. Do they offer any specific practices for cultivating this kind of mindset?
They highlight Oprah Winfrey's daily gratitude journal practice. She writes down 3 things she's grateful for every morning.
That sounds simple but powerful. It's like setting the tone for the day.
Right, focusing on the good instead of dwelling on the negative.
Okay, so we've covered gratitude and a positive mindset. What's habit number 9?
This one's all about time management. The source emphasizes that everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but successful people use them differently.
Okay, so spill the beans. What's their secret?
It's not about cramming more into your day, it's about being strategic with your time. The 80-20 rule is a key concept here.
I've heard of that. What does it mean in this context?
It means focusing on the 20% of your efforts that produce 80% of your results. Figure out what activities really move the needle and prioritize those.
Oh, I see. It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And they also recommend other time management tools like time blocking to-do lists, even productivity apps.
So find what works for you.
Right. It's about creating a system that helps you be the most effective with your time.
Okay, so we've reached the final habit, number 10. What's the grand finale?
This one's crucial. Taking action, not just planning. It's where the rubber meets the road.
It's easy to get caught up in planning and overthinking, right? But at some point, you got to take that leap.
This ties back to what we talked about with self-discipline. It's not enough to know what to do. You have to actually do it.
And they caution against perfectionism, which can be a real progress killer.
Absolutely. Done is better than perfect. And consistency is key. Small steps taken consistently over time lead to big results.
So it's about taking action, even if it's imperfect, and then building on that momentum over time.
Right. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. 10 habits that can really make a difference.
It's like a blueprint for success. But the cool thing is you don't have to do everything perfectly.
Right. You can start small, pick a few that resonate with you.
Even implementing 1 or 2 of these habits can have a ripple effect.
It's true. I'm already thinking about which ones I can start incorporating into my own life.
Which ones stand out to you so far?
I think the waking up early thing is going to be a challenge for me, but I can see the value in it. That quiet time to focus.
Right. And that extra time could be used for reading or exercise.
Exactly. It's like those habits build on each other.
They do. And having that positive mindset, embracing failure as a learning opportunity, those are crucial too.
I'm curious about something. We've talked about these habits in the context of business leaders and entrepreneurs, but do you think they apply to other fields too?
Absolutely. I think these are universal principles that can be adapted to any profession, any goal.
Like for an artist or an athlete?
Exactly. The specific application might look different, but the core concepts remain relevant.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Think about setting SMART goals. For an entrepreneur, that might be hitting a specific sales target.
Right. But for an artist, it could be completing a series of paintings for an exhibition.
Exactly. Or for a stay-at-home parent, it could be about creating a consistent daily routine for their kids.
So it's about adapting the principles to your own unique situation and goals.
Precisely. It's not a one-size-fits-all formula.
What about reading? We talked about Bill Gates and Warren Buffett reading tons of books, but does that mean everyone needs to become a bookworm?
Not necessarily. Remember, it's about quality over quantity and finding what works for you.
So an athlete might be reading up on sports psychology, while a musician might be studying music theory.
Exactly. It's about seeking knowledge that fuels your passions and helps you grow.
And networking. That probably looks different in different fields, too.
Of course. But the underlying principle is the same. No one achieves success alone.
We all need support, mentorship, collaboration.
An entrepreneur might be networking to find investors, while an artist might be connecting with gallery owners.
So it's about building a network that aligns with your goals, whatever those goals may be.
And even embracing failure, that's universal too.
Right. Everyone experiences setbacks, whether you're an athlete, an artist, a parent.
It's about how you respond to those setbacks. Successful people use them as opportunities to learn and grow.
It's about turning those oops moments into aha moments.
Exactly. And that positive mindset we talked about, that's what helps you bounce back from challenges.
So to recap, these 10 habits aren't just for a select few high achievers. They're valuable tools for anyone.
Regardless of what you do or what your definition of success looks like.
It's about taking ownership of your growth and creating your own path.
And remember, success doesn't always have to be about money or fame.
Right. It could be about creative fulfillment, raising a family, making a difference in your community.
It's about aligning your actions with your values.
We've talked a lot about individual habits, but I'm curious about your thoughts on something else. The source really focuses on what you can do to be successful, but what about the role of luck or timing?
The age-old debate, nature versus nurture.
Exactly. You can't always control everything in life, right? Like sometimes it feels like things just fall into place.
Yeah, being in the right place at the right time, having connections you didn't even realize were valuable, it can definitely make a difference.
So it's not a guarantee, even if you got all these habits down.
Exactly. It's not a magic formula. But I think of it like this. These habits are like building a strong foundation.
Okay. I like
They provide stability and resilience.
you're ready for whatever comes your way.
Right. But the final outcome, that's also influenced by the environment, by those external factors we can't control.
Makes sense. So it's about setting yourself up for success, but also recognizing that sometimes luck and timing play a role.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important to remember that success, it's not a one-size-fits-all concept.
Right. It doesn't always have to be about money or fame.
Exactly. It could be about creative fulfillment, raising a family, making a difference in your community.
It's about living a life that feels meaningful and aligned with your values.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Right. It's not like you check off these habits and boom, you're done.
Exactly. It's about ongoing effort and attention.
Consistently showing up for yourself, making those small choices that add up over time,
And even if you just start with one habit that can create a ripple effect,
leading to positive changes in other areas of your life.
I think that's a great takeaway.
This has been such an insightful deep dive into the habits of successful people. I'm definitely feeling inspired.
Me too. It's a good reminder that we all have the power to shape our own success.
No matter what that looks like for us.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a question. What's one habit you're going to focus on first? What's one small step you can take today to start building that foundation for your own unique version of success? Think about it, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for your own extraordinary meterum.